Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. So, um, oh gosh, let me just say hello to everybody. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Joe H. Sorry, my voice is terrible because I've been teaching a lot today. Hi, Vicky. Listen, Vicky, you and me both. I want to go and live in a log cabin somewhere away from what is going on here. What is going on? I mean, I wasn't going to come on tonight. It's so hot. It's 41 degrees. It's showing on my computer, and it is 8:45 at night. As you can see, I look like I've been dragged through an edge backwards. I've literally only just finished work at 8 o'clock, and I was just going to go off and make something to eat and just sort of go and have a shower and lie down in a dark room. And then I saw this news, and I just thought, oh, but you know whose fault it is? According to what I was just watching before I started here on Sky News, they had a guy on. It's all social media's fault. It's all social media's fault, all of this, because they reacted too quickly to the news from the Sun news. So it's not the Sun's fault. It's not the BBC's fault. It's not the presenter, whoever he is, because we still don't really know for certain, although there's been all sorts flying around social media. Don't they understand how social media works? Don't they understand yet how social media works? That if you give out, like, is it deliberate? Is it deliberate? Makes me wonder if it's deliberate. Exactly. Social media. Hi, David. Estoy bien, gracias. But it's just hi, multi. Sorry, oh gosh, quite a few of you have come on now. I hope I don't miss anyone. MB, hello. I know, Charlie. Hi. Hi, Cuba Lakeland. You must be wondering what the hell's going on with these British people are mad. Hi, Heather. Yeah, there's been photos going all over social media. Whose fault is that? Is that social media's fault? And who is social media? Who releases a photo like that? And then, of course, when all this is going on. So let me. Oh God, the dog's in the butt. When you just Riley, shut up. Hi Rachel. Yes, David, that's a good point. I'm starting to think that as well, because what they're doing is they, first of all, it was the BBC's fault, according to everybody. Everything I watched this morning, they were saying that the BBC had dealt with it terribly. BBC this, BBC that, BBC everything. Now everybody's saying that the Sun has dealt with it terribly, and I agree with you, Charlie. I don't read the Sun. It's a rag, but it was them who brought the story. And I did say in the video that I made this morning, I did think it was strange that Sky distanced himself from the Sun this morning. They said that everything we know about this story comes from the Sun. They made it clear that this story, even though they're repeating it left, right, and centre, they're making it clear that they had nothing to do with this story. This story comes from the Sun. Hi, Shelley. It is as, do you know, MB? That's right. It is as confusing as the Nick Bully case. So it does make you sort of think a little bit. Is it deliberate? Are they deliberately trying to confuse people? So the way I look at it is, apparently, now, if the Sun have gone ahead and printed this story without any evidence whatsoever, I don't believe that, because, I could go to the Sun tomorrow, couldn't I? And I could say, oh, yeah, I've been having a relationship, a virtual relationship with Prince Charles or King Charles. They're not just going to accept what I say. You've got to show some proof. Surely they wouldn't go ahead and print a story like that unless they'd seen something, some sort of proof. did they just because anybody's mum could go like that? I think it was the mum, wasn't it, that said that this problem with their teenager that we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Anyone could go and say that. So for the Sun to actually run with it as a story these days, because since the Leveson report and everything, have been more careful. So before they run with it as a story, surely they're going to try and find some proof that it's a true story. Hi, Tina. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Thank you for all being here, by the way, because I just had to talk about this because I thought my head was going to explode. Because this morning it was all, oh yeah, the BBC this, and there was what's his name, one of the other presenters was going into the BBC and he said that by the end of the day there'd be some resolution. Then the police were getting involved and they were assessing it, and then suddenly, boom, hi Joe H, hi Deborah Thompson. Suddenly, boom, now it's not true. It's not true. The young person who's involved in it. So this is like a lot on BBC, and I couldn't actually find anything on BBC about it just now. But let's see what Sky News said about it. I'll read it to you. The young person at the centre of the scandal says claims are totally wrong. There was no truth to the story and nothing inappropriate happened. So this is the lawyer, isn't it? The lawyer, her or his, we don't know. Whoever the young person is at the centre of the scandal, nothing inappropriate happened, says young person's lawyer. Allegations are rubbish, says young person's lawyer. The unnamed male presenter has been suspended, has been accused of paying a teenager about £35,000 for sexually explicit pictures. So what they're saying now is it's not true. Claims made by the mother in the BBC presenter scandal are rubbish. So what they're insinuating is that the mother went to the Sun for money, I suppose. But surely the Sun, as much as I think they're a rag and it is a newspaper that I don't like, I don't think they're stupid enough, surely, to run a story with no proof whatsoever. So, and people, I've had comments saying it's like it's almost my fault, like spreading rumours. I'm not spreading rumours. I'm just reporting on things that are out there on the mainstream media, and something's happened. The BBC supposedly were investigating it, so it must be for a reason, some reason. Anyway, in a letter to the BBC, the lawyer cast doubt on the Sun story about the male star, who has not been publicly identified. So if this is not true, if it's rubbish, why did that presenter not right from the beginning come out and say, hang on a minute, this is not true? But no. So we're now Monday. This story came out on Saturday night. They let the story run on Sunday. Nobody stopped the story. Nobody went to the Sun and said, oh, hang on, there's no proof for this, so be careful if you're going to run this story. Nobody did that. They let them run with the story. Then they've run with the story. This morning it was all the BBC's fault for not investigating properly. And now suddenly it's the Sun's fault. And it's what I've just been watching there. They were saying this will yesterday it was going to bring down bring the BBC down. Piers Morgan was tweeting, this will be the end of the BBC. Mark Williams, Thomas, everybody, this will be the end of the BBC. This will be a scandal like Jimmy Savile, blah, 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 blah. That was this morning. Now it's going to be the end of the Sun. That's what they were saying before. This will be the end of the Sun because they have this will be like when the news of the world got brought down. This will bring the Sun down. Where's the truth? So in the meantime, as all this is going on, we're just sat like at a tennis match going boom, boom, boom. Where's the truth? Is it the Sun? Is it the BBC? This guy That's the only thing we know. There is a guy, he's a BBC presenter. I mean, there's been a lot, as you'll know, if you're one of my members, you'll have seen something that you probably wish you could unsee. But that's a photo that's been all over social media, all over Twitter anyway. I don't know if it's a genuine photo. Maybe it's been photoshopped. Some people say it has, other people say it hasn't. Do you know, I just, honest to God, I think my head is going to explode. So now this young person is saying nothing inappropriate happened. What do you think? I mean, you know, what can we think? Who do we believe? Who do we believe? Hi, Sue. No, I won't be mentioning any names. I don't mention any names, but hi, Deborah. This is my opinion. Hi, Sarah Penton Stewart. Well, no, because she's saying now that nothing inappropriate happened. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, to me, it seems obvious exactly what's happened. It's happened before with other presenters, but again, I won't mention names. I mean, YouTube's been so weird over this as well. Every time I put a video up about it, I get like limited monetization, blah, you know. And I even try and I don't mention any names. I mean, I put a video that video I put out this morning. I tried to put the least as possible that I could on it because I didn't want to sort of come up on whatever the YouTube, you know, they obviously check it with bots or whatever. And that still got stopped. And so I contacted YouTube and I said to them, why is this happening? And it makes me really worry about the media in the UK. You can go on here, you can talk about serial killers, you can talk about murder, you can talk about all the most horrible things. I've watched videos where people were calling each other God knows whatever names. You say all that, but if you mention anything against I'm so scared to even mention it because it'd be like, oh my God. Say anything against the propaganda machines that run Britain, sometimes you've had it. But yeah, and I really think they hate the mainstream media. They hate social media. I've said this before. They hate it because they know it's more popular than them now, that more people are tuning into it. And they say that they spread, social media does spread probably sometimes untruths or whatever. But you're telling me that mainstream media has never spread an untruth? Of course they do. They spread their narrative. Social media spreads social media, as someone said earlier, it's not one person. Social media is composed of lots of different people and everybody has their opinions. And what people do is they watch all the different opinions and then they make their own mind up. Hi, Princess. Hi, Maya. Hi, Desi. Hi, Silver Moon Warrior. Hope I haven't missed anyone saying hello to it, but there are quite a lot of you. So, yeah, all these cases, it's like, hi, Rio. I'm just flabbergasted with it all. And, you know, oh, my computer's showing a very chilly 40 degrees now. Do you know, it started off at 31 degrees at 11 o'clock this morning. The highest it got to about an hour ago was 44 degrees, which is now positively cold because it's only 40 degrees. So I can't cope with all this with the heat and everything. You know, it's just like, so maybe it is a deliberate thing. Maybe it is a deliberate thing just to confuse everybody and make us all sort of like think, what? So what's going to happen now? So the Sun's going to have to reply to this because David, yeah, I have air conditioning. I have 3. In fact, I've only got 2 fans on. I need to put the other one on. I've got aircon and 3 fans, and it is still boiling. It just is. So anyway, just is. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's not nice. It's very humid. I just hide. I've not been out of the house. I don't go. Well, this morning I was up on the roof for a bit, but it's just too hot. It's just not nice. It's not nice. It'd be nice, I suppose, if you were on the beach. Actually, this if I hadn't been working, evening times is a nice time to go to the beach because that's when you do cool down. Of course, Charlie, how many cold showers do you have a day? I have about 10 a day in this time of year, and I've just turned off my hot water now. That's the only good thing. So you put your aircon on a lot, and that obviously is, the electricity bill is going to be a nightmare. But what I do is I just turn the hot water thermostat thing off completely because you don't need it because you've got warm water all the time. What you can't get is cold water. Anyway, so yes, so what's going to happen tomorrow is the sun's got to respond to this. So the sun is now being told, freezing in North Wales. Well, yeah, Spain or Cyprus, but Rio, what you should try and do is keep some base in Wales if you can, so that in July, it's only July and August. I mean, at the end of the day, it is horrible, but it's 2 months out the year. So and in fact, it's only July is the worst month, I think. I've always thought July is the worst month. August, it'll start cooling down at night a little bit. So, it's just something you've got to get through, just like you've got to get through the winters in the UK, but it doesn't last as long. So it's 8 weeks. You're just counting off the days. Hi, Sunflower Charlemagne. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's... Oh, right, okay. The young person's lawyer is the same lawyer firm the Queen used. Approximately £750 an hour. Well, who's paying that, I wonder? Do you remember Philip Schofield? And he went to a lawyer to pay... Not pay off, sorry, oops, that was a mistake. Not pay off his young friend, but to pay for his young friend's legal costs. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder what's going on. To me, what's happened, that's probably what, there's been talks, there's been lawyers, and, if you're earning what that presenter is supposedly earning, you can afford a lawyer like that. Now, so this has been said now. The Sun are talking rubbish, basically, is what it's a challenge that's been thrown down. No, there was no inappropriate behaviour. This is what the young person is saying. It's rubbish. So really, I keep saying she, but we don't know that it's a girl. But they've set themselves against their parents as well, haven't they? Thank you, Shelley. Yes, hit the like, please. They probably are a little bit estranged. If I'm saying she again, if the young person has a drug problem, they're definitely going to be, at loggerheads with the parents. I mean, of course they are. So if the mom is trying to save them from themselves and they don't want to be saved, any of you have ever had that experience in your family, and I have, and I know exactly what that's like. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to listen to everybody else. And money talks, especially when you've got an addiction. So who knows what sort of happened between behind the scenes. So that's how I feel. I feel like now the gauntlet's been set down for the Sun. So now the BBC is striking back and saying, well, hang on a minute, this is why we haven't investigated it quickly enough. And, it's been months. It's not just all about a couple of days. The story came out on Saturday night, but apparently it goes back to sort of May time, doesn't it? So when the BBC first found out about it. So why is it only just being sorted out now? They've laid the gauntlet down to the Sun. Basically now, the Sun are going to have to come up with some proof for this story. Otherwise, they are going to be in trouble. Because if the complaint sort of people turn around to them and say, right, where's the proof for that story? Then, they're going to have to come up with some proof. And I still can't believe that they would have run that story without some proof. Because to me it seemed like quite an easy thing to prove. I didn't understand why they wouldn't just say, because the mother said she had seen the bank account entries where this money had gone in. I've had seen other comments, it was paid with PayPal. I don't know if that's true or not, but definitely the mother in the report said that she had seen the account, this money go into her child's account. So surely the Sun would not have run a story as big as this with the implications that it had unless they were pretty much 100% certain that it was true. Well, we'll find out, won't we? What will the Sun's headline be tomorrow? Will it just be like ignore it as if it hasn't happened, or are they going to run the evidence? Yeah, because now they're saying that if the Sun are wrong, that'd be the end of the Sun. So it's been the end of the BBC and now it's the end of the Sun. So will it be the end of anybody? I don't know. And what is this person who has now been displayed all over social media? How are they going to sort of what they're going to say? Why don't they if it's not true, why don't they come out and say it's not true? No, old hippie, that's not true. It's not true. Social media reacts to things that happen. What you're saying is not true. Why are you even on here if that's what you think? You look at social media. Everybody does. Of course they do. Social media reacts. It wasn't social media that caused this. It was the Sun, which is mainstream media. The BBC, mainstream media. And what it is those mainstream medias, they don't like the social media because social media is a bit sort of Rambo. It goes off on its own because there's more chance of freedom of speech. So that's where it is. They'll blame it on social media rather than blame it on each other because they're more frightened that they know people are waking up to what mainstream media is about. Mainstream media tells more lies than anything. The propaganda that you see, and if you go on social media, you can find out for yourself and you make your mind up just like everybody else will. So the Sun, the Dawn, you mean the Sun, I presume. The Sun, of course, it's, I'm not being funny, but if you don't think the Sun is mainstream media, what do you think it is? Sorry, I can't talk to idiots, I'm afraid. So I just can't listen to idiots saying that the Sun is not mainstream media. I mean, of course, the Sun's not mainstream media, no. So, in my opinion, I'd be interested to see what the Sun, that's not mainstream media, has to say tomorrow. Then I think it'll be a back and forth now between the Sun and the BBC, and hopefully I'm saying the newscaster, the presenter needs to come out and say it, because at the end of the day, if he's got nothing to hide, he's got nothing to hide, has he? This is it's like the Philip Schofield thing, isn't it? Hanging on until you're forced to. If you've got nothing to hide, come out and prove that you've got nothing to hide. That's what I would say. So, hi, Pauline. You're keeping quiet tonight. Hi, DW. Paul. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but the Sun is not mainstream media, right? Okay, fine. Everyone's entitled to opinion. But I don't. Oh my goodness me. Well, the thing is, we are in this situation. I don't even watch the TV, but you know what? I hate being lied to. I hate all this gaslighting. So, you know, they start a story off like this, and then it is very similar to the Nicola Bully thing, or it's very similar to the Philip Schofield thing. It's time after time after time. And, you know, I should be able to just sit back and not think about it, but I can't help it, because you just think, do they think it's all the politics? Because there was a lot of things going on in politics today. Today was the last chance for Boris Johnson to hand over all the WhatsApp messages about the inquiry. That's been sort of buried. So sometimes you wonder, is it deliberate? I don't know, Deborah, but apparently old hippie who was on here before, who I've put in time out, they might be back in a minute, said the Sun's not mainstream media. So what are they? Well, they're not social media. So what are they? Just interesting things that people say. Yeah, so what do you think? Well, you're letting me know what you think. I think most of you probably do agree with me, otherwise you wouldn't come on and watch me, I suppose. But it's just, I just couldn't believe it. But let's just see, before I go, I'm just going to see if there's any other news. God, you can't leave the news alone for a minute. I've been, like, keep looking at, no, that's still the latest thing. Claims about the BBC, on Sky News anyway, claims about the BBC presenter are totally wrong. And you know what? I'll be back on in the morning, because I'm sure there'll be some reaction by the Sun. But also the other thing that I want to talk about, which is sort of connected to this, and I don't know if any of you know, but you know, do you know about the statue that whenever they show you the BBC offices, they always show like the modern sort of part and the entrance with the revolving door, etc. But do you know about the statue at the BBC and the story behind that? Because I'm going to talk about that in the morning, because that's a whole nother thing. But hi, Mike. Louise. Right, okay, so I'm going because I have to go. It's been a long day. It's very hot. We'll see what the Sun headlines are tomorrow. Let's take bets. We could take bets on it. What are the headlines going to be? Are they going to come out with some proof? You know, would they really have run a story of that magnitude? I mean, that's a big story. Would they really have done that unless they had some proof? And if they did, if they went ahead and ran that story without any proof, they are going to be in big trouble. So, yeah, it could all be a psyop. I don't know what, do you know, I think life in general is a psyop at the moment. But, yeah, and in the meantime, other sad things are going on around the world. But it could be a distraction. Could be a distraction. So, oh. I'm just reading your comments. Okay, I'm going. Thank you so much. Please press like on the way out. Is it just a ruse to get you to buy the Sun? More copies of the Sun? Who knows? It could be. You know, the Sun could be just doing it to improve their I'm not getting upset. I'm definitely not upset. So good night, everybody. Yeah. The thing is that you don't need to watch the films and things now, because real life is just better than the film, isn't it? Okay. Yes, hi. Okay, Desi. I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow, definitely, without doubt. Hasta luego. Night, night. Thank you.